I'm in the shadowy parking lot behind Murphy's bar, heart racing, hemmed in by a semicircle of pissed off guys because I made the so called mistake of helping a drunk woman who face planted on the sidewalk get back up. Her boyfriend and his 5 buddies look ready to smash my face in while she points and slurs. That's him. Even though all I did was grab her phone and offer my arm so she could stand after wobbling in her 5 in heels. So yeah, I'm in that dim backlot behind Murphy's, pulse banging, circled by a half moon of angry men. One holds up his phone like he's about to dial 911. Another's got an arm around a swaying girl, mascara smeared, pointing at me, mumbling, "That's him." Every one of these guys seems like he's been waiting all week for an excuse to swing. Apparently, I drew the short straw tonight. This whole mess kicked off about 20 minutes earlier. I'd been at Murphy's with coworkers. Nothing wild, just a couple beers and some stories. I decided to dip early because of an early shift. As I pushed out the door, I spotted her, a mid-20s woman wobbling toward the exit in heels designed like weapons. She cleared the doorway, but the instant her foot hit the cracked sidewalk, she went down like a cartoon slip on a banana peel. Full-on face-first crash. Her phone, purse, and one heel shot off in different directions. I hustled over, crouched, next to her, and asked if she was okay. She groaned, tried to push up, kept fumbling. I picked up her phone, slid it toward her, and offered my arm so she could stand. She was obviously hammered, the kind of drunk where blinking is a chore. Helping her up felt like the decent thing to do. She mumbled something I missed, brushed herself off, grabbed her purse, and staggered back inside. That was it. No thank you. Nothing. But instead of water or a seat, she apparently headed straight to her table and told her group some creep outside grabbed her. Unfortunately, her crew included her boyfriend, the type who sees minor inconveniences as personal attacks, and a posse of equally drunk sidekicks who weren't there to cool anything down. They didn't pause to ask questions, didn't consider that maybe she fell because she was in 5 in heels on broken concrete. They went straight to lynch mob mode before she finished her sentence. I was halfway into my car when the bar door slammed, and a sharp "hey" froze me. 6 guys stormed across the lot with that heavy, aggressive stride you get right before fists fly. The boyfriend led, jaw clenched, fists flexing. The others spread behind him like they'd practiced street fight formation. The girl leaned on one of them, finger aimed straight at me, voice slurred but loud. "That's the guy." A couple bystanders paused, drifting back toward their cars. Another dude near the door pulled out his phone to film, grinning like he'd just found his viral TikTok. The air shifted, that dangerous electric pause before the first shove. They closed in. "You touch my girl?" the boyfriend barked, close enough that the whiskey on his breath hit me. Before I could answer, another guy cut in. "Don't say a word, man. Just stand there." A third chimed in. "We can call the cops. Hope you like cuffs." Every time I tried to talk, they steamrolled over me. One on my right kept inching forward, chin up, daring me to twitch so he'd have an excuse. The boyfriend stared into my eyes, unblinking, like he was already lining up the punch. I glanced around. They'd boxed me against my car. No clean. Exit unless I shoved someone. "Look, I tried. Hands up." She tripped. Bull. One snapped. "She's shaking because of you," another added while the girl barely held her balance. Mob logic at its finest. Facts didn't matter. The story was set. My pulse pounded in my throat, every muscle coiled, ready to duck a swing. Worst-case flashes looped through my head, them jumping me before I could get a word out. One wrong move and I was about to be in a fight I didn't start and might not walk away from. Just as the boyfriend stepped close enough for his chest to bump mine, a deeper voice sliced through. "Hey, hey, hey." It was like someone hit mute. The bouncer, an absolute unit in a black tee, walked into the middle, pointed at me, and said, "He didn't do anything. I watched it." Everything stayed frozen for 3 beats after Diego Ramirez spoke. Then Tyler Blossom snapped toward him, color shifting from pale to furious red like someone cranked a dial. "You don't know what you saw," Tyler said, but his voice had a shake that wasn't there before. Diego folded his arms, all 300 pounds forming a wall between me and them. My heart was still pounding, but at least now I wasn't alone. "I know exactly what I saw," Diego said calmly, pulling out his phone. and so does our security camera. That flipped the script. Tyler's friends started glancing at each other instead of me. Ramon Gutierrez, the guy filming on his phone, slowly lowered it. The energy shifted, not gone but different. Like when a teacher steps into a classroom right before a fight, Jenna McCarthy wobbled forward, squinting at Diego through her drunk fog. Mascara streaked both cheeks. He grabbed me when I fell, she said, the words mushy and uncertain. Tyler immediately pulled her in, gripping too hard. She flinched, just a tiny twitch, but I saw it. Then show us, Tyler demanded, puffing his chest like he needed to look bigger, but he seemed to be stalling, searching for an angle. Diego shrugged. Vanessa Grant, the bartender, has the footage inside. The gathered crowd began shifting. Some backing away, others pressing closer to see what happened next. Isaiah Porter, one of Tyler's crew, stepped up and cracked his knuckles, and my stomach tightened at the sound. We don't need to see anything, he said. But two other guys were muttering about cops and cameras, looking suddenly unsure, like they'd realized things might not break their way. I finally found my voice and kept my hands visible. Let's all go check the footage. I sounded steadier than I felt. Tyler laughed. Sharp, ugly, not funny. Footage can be faked. My girl knows what happened. But Diego was already showing us his phone. I was on smoke break, he said, angling the screen so everyone could see. Got the whole thing. It was shaky, but clear enough. There I was, helping Jenna up after she ate pavement. You could see her grab my arm to steady herself, see me step back the second she could stand. Everyone leaned in, even Tyler's crew. That's not what it looked like, Tyler stammered, but his voice had lost its bite. His guys rewatched it. Ramon whistled low. Dude, he just helped her. Isaiah looked thrown, like someone swapped scripts mid-scene. Jenna blinked at the screen, struggling to focus through the booze. I thought... She trailed off, lost. Tyler's grip on her arm tightened, and he hissed at her to shut up. That's when I noticed something that made my skin crawl. Those bruises aren't from tonight, I said quietly, pointing at her upper arm. Under the lot lights, they were obvious. Old ones, yellow and green, the kind that linger a week. Silence. Every eye moved to where I pointed. Tyler yanked Jenna behind him fast. We're leaving. Diego sidestepped, blocking their path. Nobody's. Leaving till we figure this out. He was already texting, maybe calling for backup or the cops. Jenna started crying harder, no longer angry tears, but something fractured. I just want to go home, she whimpered, shrinking in on herself. Tyler told her they were going home, voice hard, but one of his buddies, the same guy ready to punch me 2 minutes ago, said, Hold up, Tyler, what about those bruises? None of your business, Tyler snapped. But the group dynamic had flipped. They'd marched out united against me, all righteous about defending Jenna. Now they were staring at Tyler like they were really seeing him. Isaiah actually stepped away from him, putting space between them. Relatives, unless there's a long history everyone's been ignoring. Inside, Diego nodded from the door. Vanessa refused to let me pay for a drink. Later that night, heading to my car, I watched a girl stumble on the same uneven sidewalk. My body locked up. Instinct screamed to keep walking, get in, drive away, but she was alone, fumbling for her phone. No one else around. I helped her anyway, but everything was different. I had my phone recording before I approached. I said loud enough to carry, Miss, I'm going to help you stand up, okay? She said okay. I made sure the bouncer could see us. As soon as she was steady, I stepped back with my hands visible. She thanked me, confused by my cautious choreography. She had no idea I was treating it like a bomb squad drill. 3 weeks after, Tyler took a plea. No jail, anger management, and a restraining order for Jenna. Ramon messaged me that Tyler was telling everyone I'd set him up, that I planned it to make him look bad. In Tyler's version, the story was flipped, and he'd probably believe his version forever. A month later at another bar, a scuffle broke out nearby. 2 guys shoving over nonsense. Phones came out. No one stepped in. I understood now. Getting involved risks everything. Watching felt wrong, too. I just left. 6. Weeks after, Jenna sent a message, long, maybe 1,000 words. She apologized again, explained how Tyler convinced her she was crazy, how he isolated her from friends who warned her. She was in therapy, living with her parents, doing better. I read it 3 times and replied, "Glad you're safe." That was... Now, we never spoke again. 2 months later, I ran into Isaiah at a downtown coffee shop. He said Tyler moved to another city, but kept posting angry rants about that night, calling everyone liars and saying Jenna betrayed him. "We don't talk to him anymore," Isaiah said, stirring his coffee. That night opened our eyes to who he really was. 3 months after, another viral video surfaced. Some guy jumped after helping a stranger in a car wreck. Comments were the same. Chorus, "Mind your business, protect yourself. No good deed goes unpunished." I watched once and felt sick. 6 months later, walking past Murphy's on my way elsewhere, I saw Diego on a smoke break. We chatted. He'd seen 3 similar scenes since mine: drunk falls, aggressive boyfriends, accusations flying. "Now I record everything," he said, showing a body cam he bought himself. I couldn't tell if that was progress or just a sad necessity. A full year later, I still help people, but not like before. Every interaction is calculated. I make sure there are witnesses. I announce what I'm doing so others can hear. I keep my phone recording in my pocket. The instinct to just reach out and help without thinking, that's gone. Tyler's somewhere out there, in another city maybe, probably still angry about that night. His version is probably unrecognizable to me. In his mind, he's the victim. But the dent he left in me is permanent. I got through that night without throwing or taking a punch. I'm not the same person who rushed to help a stranger without a second thought. Man, what a ride today. All those twists and turns had me locked in. Thanks for sticking around and walking through it with me. Catch you in the next one. If you made it this far, drop a comment. That's when Vanessa came out the back door with a tablet. The security feed was already up. Way clearer than Diego's video. You could see everything: Jenna crashing hard, her stuff flying, me helping her up, her leaning on my arm, me backing off. No grabbing, no creep vibes, nothing wrong at all. "Play it again," Tyler demanded, jaw grinding like he was chewing something bitter. Vanessa ran it 3 times. Each replay made it more obvious I'd done nothing wrong. Someone in the crowd murmured, "That boyfriend's the problem." Ramon pocketed his phone, shaking his head. "You had us ready to jump an innocent guy," he told Tyler, real anger in his voice. "Now." Tyler spun on him, fists clenched, but his rage wasn't aimed at me anymore. It was desperate, wild, cornered animal energy. "You're all taking his side," Tyler shouted, spitting the words. "My girl says something happened." But Jenna was shrinking away, rubbing her bruised arm, and I realized she feared her own boyfriend more than she'd ever feared me. 2 more security guys appeared from inside. Big men in black tees who spaced themselves around us. Tyler's protective boyfriend act wasn't adding up. Those old bruises told a different story. Nobody was throwing punches now, not with that much muscle watching. Tyler looked trapped, eyes darting like he was counting exits. Then Jenna spoke, voice small and shaky. Maybe I was confused. I was really drunk, and the fall hurt. Tyler whipped around so fast she staggered backward. "Don't you dare," he growled, and the threat in his voice tightened everyone up again. Isaiah and Ramon stepped between them. "Yo, calm down," Isaiah said. No longer Tyler's backup, now worried about Jenna. The lot had changed into something else, not a mob against me, but a group realizing they'd been backing the wrong villain. "This is what he does," Jenna burst out, tears streaming. The words came in a rush, like they'd been caged forever. "Every time we go out, he hunts for a fight. Last month, it was a waiter who brought the wrong drink. Before that, some guy at the gym who looked at me. The lot went dead quiet. Even the phones dipped." Tyler's face shifted from red to purple, veins standing out. "Shut your mouth," he told Jenna, taking a step toward her. But Diego, Isaiah, Ramon, and I moved at once, forming a wall. 5 minutes earlier, these guys wanted to crush me. Now we stood on the same side. Then we heard sirens approaching, the high-low wail slicing the night. Tyler heard them too and edged toward his car. Keys. Already out. Diego shook his head. You're staying right here. Running makes it worse. Jenna sat down hard on the curb, head in her hands, shoulders shaking. Vanessa came with a water bottle and a bar towel, kneeling beside her. I kept my distance. The last thing she needed was another guy in her space, even if I was the one she'd misaccused. Tyler pulled out his phone, probably to call someone. Backup, a lawyer, who knows. But Ramon reached over and took it from him. Stop making this worse, Ramon told him. Tyler looked stunned, like his own friend had betrayed him. The power shift was complete. Tyler had gone from leading the charge to being the problem everyone watched. 2 officers rolled up, getting out slow and careful, hands near their belts but not on them. The female officer took the lead, separating us for statements. Tyler started fast-talking, words tumbling as he tried to lock down the narrative before anyone else spoke. But there were too many witnesses, too much video, and his story kept changing every few lines. She reviewed both videos, Diego's phone clip and Vanessa's crystal-clear footage, taking notes, asking Diego to replay parts. Her partner stood by the cruiser talking to Jenna in a low voice. I saw Jenna roll up her sleeve and show him the bruises, old and fresh ones I hadn't noticed. About 20 minutes after they arrived, they cuffed Tyler. The click of metal echoed in the lot. He started shouting about lawyers, calling us liars, insisting Jenna would set it straight when she sobered up. As they walked him to the car, he glared at me like this was my scheme, like I'd orchestrated it all. His eyes had a wildness that made me grateful for the patrol car's bulletproof glass. Ramon and Isaiah wandered over where I stood by my car, both staring at the ground like kids caught doing something wrong. Man, we're sorry, Ramon said, rubbing his neck. He seemed so sure and she was crying and he trailed off. Isaiah added, we were really about to hurt you over nothing. I nodded but didn't say it was okay, because it wasn't. They'd been ready to jump an innocent man over a drunk girl's confused accusation. The female officer came to take my statement. I pulled out my phone. I'd started recording. Audio as soon as things got heated right after Tyler got in my face. She nodded. Smart move. My hands still shook as I played it back. Tyler's threats came through clear as day. She took my info and said a detective might reach out. About 10 minutes later, Jenna walked over with the officer. Her makeup was wrecked, black streaks down her cheeks. I'm sorry, she whispered, not quite meeting my eyes. He's told me that's what happened so many times I believed it. He kept saying you grabbed me and I was so drunk and he sounded so sure. I told her it wasn't her fault, and I meant it. I could see how someone like Tyler twists things. She said it wasn't the first time he bent reality to start something. He makes me think I remembered wrong, like I'm crazy. Her voice shrank with each word. The officer handed her a card with a number and asked if she had somewhere safe. That night, Jenna nodded, pulling out her phone with trembling fingers. A car rolled up fast and her friend jumped out, wrapping Jenna in a tight hug and whispering something I couldn't hear. We're getting your stuff from his place tomorrow, the friend said firmly, loud enough for everyone. You're staying with me as long as you need. Jenna just nodded into her shoulder. The crowd began to scatter, some back inside, others to their cars. Snippets floated around. That guy didn't do anything. Tyler's always been a hothead. Did you see those bruises? My name faded from the story. I was just the guy who tried to help. Diego walked over and clapped a heavy hand on my shoulder. You handled that well. A lot of guys would have swung. I let out a laugh that sounded hollow. Truth is, I'd been a second from running or throwing a punch before he showed up. My whole body was braced for a fight I didn't want. Vanessa offered me a free drink inside and a couple people said they'd buy me beers, but I wanted to go home. The adrenaline dump hit and I felt sick, like I'd been awake 3 days. My legs were wobbly walking to my car. I passed the spot where Jenna fell and her shoe scuff was still on the concrete. Such a tiny thing. A drunk woman tripping on uneven pavement almost got me beaten, arrested, or worse. I stood there, trying to process how fast it all spiraled. Ramon and Isaiah were still in the lot, leaning on Ramon's truck. We were really about to hurt you, Isaiah said again, like he couldn't believe it either. Tyler got us riled up and we didn't think. The weight of it hung between us, heavy and awkward. In my car, I adjusted the rear view and saw Tyler in the back of the cruiser. He'd finally gone quiet, slumped against the window. Red and blue lights washed everything in turns. I started the engine and pulled out slow, hands locked too tight on the wheel. The drive home was 15 minutes. Felt like hours. The streets were mostly empty, a few cars drifting by. I kept checking mirrors, paranoid someone was following. Every pair of headlights tightened my chest. At red lights, I double-checked. The locks and left room in front of me in case I had to move. My apartment felt different. Safer but smaller, like the walls had crept in. I locked the door, checked it twice, then went window to window making sure they were latched. Part of me wanted to call someone and unload the whole thing, but I couldn't form the words. Sleep wasn't happening. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Tyler's face inches away, smelled whiskey on his breath, felt that instant when I thought the first punch was coming. So I sat at my laptop and wrote everything while it was fresh. Times, names, what was said. The cops might need it, but mostly I needed it out of my head and onto a screen where it couldn't shift. Saturday morning hit too soon. Friends texted, "Is this you?" with links to clips of me surrounded in the lot. Someone posted it and it spread. Comments split the usual ways. Some people called me a hero for helping someone who fell. Others said I should have minded my business, never touch a drunk woman you don't know. A few said I was dumb for not running when the mob came. The internet didn't care about context. Everyone had a take based on a shaky minute of video. By Saturday afternoon, Vanessa called. Her voice was tight. Tyler was already out on bail. My chest tightened at the thought of him free, wondering if he knew where I lived, if he blamed me for his arrest. Monday came with a call from Tyler's sister, Haley Blossom. She got my number from the police report. She apologized for her brother, said the family had worried about his temper for years, but he refused help. She asked if I was pressing charges. I said yes without hesitation. A week later, a detective called. Tyler was being charged with assault, threats, and other charges I didn't catch. They'd need me to testify if it went to trial. The idea of sitting in a courtroom with Tyler staring at me made me queasy, but I agreed. Someone had to stand up to guys like him. 2 weeks after that night, I went back to Murphy's. Walking. That lot felt like crossing a graveyard. The spot where it happened was just an empty space. No trace that anything went wrong there. Haley's apology made me wonder how many times his family had to patch things up. You don't end up with worried